I don't like the lighting, but whatever. I've looked like this before, believe it or not. It's crazy, I know. But I remember filming in a hotel similar to this, looking cracked out, similar to this. Like I just look very skinny. Um, I don't look bad, but I look very, very skinny, right? And I look kind of sort of like, um, and I remember looking just like this years ago and me being like, wow, I look disgusting. But yeah, it was just literally because I wasn't sleeping, wasn't eating, was completely teeny tiny, was under complete crazy space attack. And anyway, it's reminding me of that, like literally that time and like recording this. I think it was like the quickening. I think I was talking about the quickening, the sickening, and the awakening. And here we are again with another quickening, sickening, and awakening, a broadcast from the road. Because what the fuck are we doing, you know? Anyway, I just pumped my own guts full of lead. No, I'm joking. That's a joke. I just pumped my own guts full of memories. Anyway, we have a really great hotel breakfast at this hotel. I have a chocolate chip muffin. I think it's chocolate chips. Yeah. And a half of a Danish. And I could probably have had the other half as well, but because they had cut into halves. And the coffee has vanilla coffee meat. Um, delicious. Okay, and this hotel had to move me 3 times. The first one, I thought it smelled weird. So I was like, can I just have a different room? So I moved to his, so he put me in a different room. He didn't even put me in that room. I just was like, he just gave me a different room. And I was like, okay, great, thank you. Then I found a big, no, no, no. There was a big bee in that room. It was either a bee or a moth. And I still don't know. It's downstairs. I can show you guys because I had to kill it. But it was really big. It was buzzing all over the place. And I had the guy, guys, I was like, I can't tell if it's a bee. It might be a bee, and I need help getting him out of my room. So anyway, he helped me kill him. And then I found we thought he left because he was done buzzing around, but I think we like half killed him. So I killed him the whole way. So there was that, and then the door didn't lock. The door literally didn't lock on that door. Like you would just like walk. I went to my car to get my car charger and couldn't find it, and it caused everyone to have a panic attack. Everyone started making fun of me in telepathy uh, due to me not being able to find my phone charger. And I was like, did I leave it in the last hotel? Like I remember bringing it out. I don't know where it is. I was like looking all over for it, and everybody was making fun of me. And then Rion was like, why do we make fun of you? You know, when you're having like a panic attack, 'cause I'm like having a panic attack, like looking for my phone charger. Like, there's no way I left my fucking phone charger, in another state. And and he's like, why do we always make fun of you? It's like, cause he said, cause they quote unquote die. Okay. Now I know that's controversial to say that because they're still here, they're living, they're breathing, but they go up, basically, is another word for saying that. They go up. Um, but I'm talking to Rion and we just talk like nobody's listening. And that's the kind of stuff we say to each other or whatever. Like me having a panic attack like resets their system and they go up in levels and they think everything's funny because you think everything's funny when you go up in levels. So that's sort of what he means. Anyway, the next room had a huge dried up pile of dog pee. And I was like, I don't think that's from fresh. This was like dried up, sort of. And I had to wash my feet because I think I accidentally maybe like stepped a little bit into it. And I was like, oh, gross. I just want to clean that up. And so I went to the guy and I was like, there's a big pile of dog pee in the corner of my room. And so he moved me again. Yeah, so that was the second room. So he moved me again. So now I'm in this room. And I'm like, I don't know. Um, I don't know. I got scared of this hotel. I was like, I really got scared of it. But there you go. Woke up 6 a.m., ready for breakfast, and their breakfast kicks ass. Kicks the other hotel's ass. Um, I don't think it was my dogs, but I don't know. Stranger things have happened. I'm pretty sure I took him out. I kept taking him out to go pee, so I don't really know. Um, I mean, I'm pretty sure there's zombies on the chat that eat people's brains, which are it's just way grosser than an accident on the floor. But you know, they also eat other things. I'm not mentioning this way grosser. Um, and that's probably what I mean. Mm. That's where we're at. You know, that's where we're fucking at, right? Am I gonna get blocked if I play this? Man, this fucking shit made me so happy. It sounds so low. I don't know if you guys can hear it, but I'm afraid I'm gonna get blocked. I cry every time. Okay. Anyway, calling Mars. you know, was it her day off? Did she like miss it? And then like maybe you don't have to mop there every time. Maybe just like mop there once a week or something. You know what I mean? Maybe just like mop the hotel rooms like once a week instead of like every day. I don't know how it works in housekeeping, um, but yeah, because I'm like I keep taking fresh out. I don't really know. Let's see, like anyway, I think about those types of things a lot. Oh god. Um, that was another thing. I was like, well, I'm not puking. You know, when I moved into this hotel, I was like, I'm not puking. It's just, a random bee, an accident on the floor. It's kind of like a dirtier hotel. It's kind of like not something I would usually stay at or whatever, but I've stayed at so many of these the first time I did this road trip. I'm usually not paranoid of places like this, but I go like, the door didn't lock. You know what I mean? I'm usually not paranoid of that stuff either. I'm not really paranoid or whatever, but I don't know. Is my stomach starting to get upset right now? A little bit. It feels like it, but yeah. Is it because I just called Luke? I only have cigarettes left. I'm not really into cigarettes. I probably will have a smoke though. Even though for some reason my asthma's kicking up again, and there was like it was fine all day yesterday. Then it hit me a little bit when I was falling asleep, and and I was like, "Stay calm, calm down, and let the asthma pass." And it was gone. I didn't stay up coughing all night, And now here I am coughing again. And I was fine recording this right before I called Star Wars. So I don't know. They told me what it was. I forget. They told me what it was. Something to do with my lung capacity, like related to something else. Was it an attack on my friends? And then that's related to my lung capacity or something? I don't remember, but they did say it last night. Okay, so low budget hotel, and I'm like, could I do the Airbnb for $44 a night instead of, double the price for a hotel room? I don't remember staying in, yes, I do. I remember staying in one Airbnb last time I did this in Nashville. Um, and it was like a nice Airbnb. There was nothing wrong with it, but I mainly stayed in hotel rooms. But I didn't go out to eat. I only went out to eat like once or twice. Like I didn't go out to eat that often. I usually like I would go to the grocery store and I would go and buy food from the grocery store to eat, and I really couldn't hold down a lot of food at the time. Um, because I was so inundated with space codes back then that it just ran through me. A river ran through it. It was like that last time. And yeah, just like a bottle of wine a night and random frozen food that I would get from the place, and then I would go, to the grocery store and get it. And it didn't I was like, it doesn't matter what I eat. It's a river ran through it. I remember thinking that. Like I don't know, it doesn't even matter what I eat. So um yeah. So it's sort of like that again. I thought a little vacation in Savannah wouldn't put me back that much. But I'm being way more mindful of money, and I'm being way more mindful of money. And I mean, why would the princess from space be mindful of money? It's kind of crazy, and that's why I wanted to post today, this early morning of your time of your space at 6:30 in the goddamn fucking morning, and here I am, and I'm like, I need to post, because I'm like that, like that like crazy upset slash happy at the same time, and like I'm like chill on the awesome breakfast, you know what I mean? Chill on the awesome breakfast. Shoddy hotel. And it's like they really know how to do a good breakfast around here. They really know how to do a good breakfast. And I was like, hotels can mess up. Hotels can be a little dirty, like, and they can still have really great breakfasts. And that's just how it's working right now. And like, I'm afraid to get sick because I heard some weird voices last night about me getting sick. And I think it's okay for me to get sick because it's more space codes coming in. And it was sort of like an antithesis sentence. I used to stay at hotels like this, um, with like my high school boyfriend. Anytime I stay in a hotel like this, I think of my ex-boyfriend. I think he was with Paul. Rest in peace, Paul, who's now Palladian and Sparkly Scalar Waves, but rest in peace, Paul. He probably falls to a person just like we do, when we don't go to space. Or like who like Sparkly Scalar Waves without unconditional love, or like some crazy crap like that. I mean, who the hell is Ryan Reynolds and fucking Colin Farrell? Who the fuck are those guys anyway? Who the fuck are they? You know what I mean? Like, uh, Who the fuck is Colin Farrell and Ryan Reynolds? I mean, they're definitely not my best friends. I never met them in my entire life, and space isn't real at all. It's like I'm gonna go get another coffee. I'm just so proud of this place and their breakfast. Can you believe it? Because like the breakfast the day before was so shoddy. I lost all faith in men yesterday because the breakfast was so shitty and the microtel. Because it like looked like a really cute hotel. It's like, oh, microtel, whatever. And then there's like this stupid bubbly girl like that's never been to a hotel before, like, oh my god, a waffle! And I'm just like, I fucking hate you. It's 6 in the morning. Shut the fuck up about your fucking waffle and just eat it, bitch. And then she had the nerve to look at what I was doing and looking at me getting my cappuccino, which wasn't really a cappuccino because those cappuccino machines when it's just water. It's just water. It's not cappuccino in it. And it's like not, and she's like looking at mine because I'm trying to get the cappuccino. And she's like, oh my God, they have a cappuccino machine too. And I'm just like, shut your fucking mouth. You know what I mean? Like, mind your own fucking business, bitch. Like, nobody wants to be that bubbly at 6 in the morning. I can't stand it. I can't stand it. I just woke up, bitch. Like, just do your own thing. Like, don't bother people. You know what I mean? Anyway, so that breakfast blew it. And, like, everybody in the entire chat knows exactly what I mean, except for Becky, the morning person. And the couple of people around her, they're like, Becky's just like that. And you know what? That's why we're here. That's why we don't have fucking ships. That's why we don't have fucking Palladian ships. Because of people like you back in the day, 20 years ago, that stuck up for people like Becky and her stupid fucking bubbly attitude at 6 a.m. and didn't respect the space princess, me, who's always been the same person, and been like, maybe you should chill the fuck out, Becky, and let people have their chill time in the morning. Because nobody likes you in the morning, Becky, and they're fucking lying to themselves for some reason. Maybe because nothing's there and they want to yell at Alyssa because there's nothing there, but they can't say that because then they're going to look crazy in a 3D world. I don't have to worry about like talking in a hotel, like I did like on the Venus little inn where it's like, oh, it's like a room. Like I had to be quiet if I wake up like a weird hour and like want to record. Remember? I don't know if I posted that one or not, but I was like, am I being loud? Oh my God. I'm so worried. I was like, why am I worried? I'm in a fucking hotel room. I'm paying for this fucking room. I'm paying money for this goddamn fucking room, you know? And that's why I was like getting a little upset at Airbnb because I was just like, they give you, and I used to love this when they would do this too, by the way, they would give you a rating. They don't, Airbnb is weird because you're paying for a room and you rate your Airbnb, but they also rate you back. And it's like, and I was thinking about that the other day. I was like, that's shady as fuck. This is shady as fuck practice because why the fuck are you paying for a room? You're paying to live in a place. You're paying a person money. There is a client and there is a business, right? So it should go one way. Why the fuck am I staying at a place and paying rent and then I can be rated? Then what are you giving me? Then why am I giving you any money at all? It's not an equal exchange. I should just be able to like either give you money and rate your fucking hotel, which is an Airbnb, or there's no other choice really. That's it. Why is it a two-way street in Airbnb? This doesn't make any sense. And I used to love it. I used to love it because I used to love reading little nice paragraphs about me. And I know that's like so stupid and bizarre, but I'd be like, I am so awesome. It's like it's so stupid. And but yeah. I used to love reading those stupid little paragraphs about me and how I was a great guest. But I thought about it. I never got a bad review or anything. I thought about it and I was like, that is like really unfair. Like, why are they rating me at all? I'm paying to live in their Airbnb. I'm paying to live in an apartment, basically. So there's no like rating system for like the person paying money. As long as they pay the money and they're a decent person and then they leave when the money's done, then there's nothing really to say. You know what I mean? Anyway, I haven't looked at Airbnbs while I'm on the road, but I can't believe I'm doing this again. Now I'm going to get depressed. Now I'm getting depressed. Okay. Now I'm getting depressy and a little bit of stressy. And apparently I am on one today because I cannot stop talking. It's like 6 in the morning. And I didn't even say what I wanted to say. I just wanted to talk about the hotel and 3D bullshit. Ugh. And I'm going to have to smoke a cigarette after this. And hopefully my asthma won't get worse. And, yeah, it's like, wow, we got so depressed. Or I did. I don't know. I got so depressed this last year. And I remembered a time when I wasn't depressed, like a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, or whatever. And it's like, how do we maintain that without the respect of, you know, Eddie Seinfeld? You know, I was so happy, but I was like, I want to live from the top. I don't want to do this anymore. Like, how fun that would it be to live from the top and then have my dreams down on earth? Like, you know what I mean? Like, like, you know, it's like I came up with all of this amazing garbaggio and you guys believed me, you know, and it even worked for a time. And now we're just like, wow, lower space is where it's at. It is definitely still real. It is definitely still real, but it is definitely lower space. And I hate my life. You know, why am I on the road again? I hate it. And I love being made fun of. I love being made fun of. You know, it wasn't the last time. Weren't we done with the road? Well, I never said we were done with the road. I just said we're done. And I said, please stop making me, um, you know, move around America in such a weird fashion. Like, stop making me do this. And, you know, here we are. But I think I just said we're done. And we were done. We were Palladians. We died. Okay. We died on Earth. Okay. Because I told everyone to die. Okay. And we died on Earth and we became Palladians. We became fucking space aliens on Earth. And it slipped into a dream because I know those words are controversial to say, that you die to Earth and then you're reborn a Palladian, and somehow we're still here because we're time slipping, because we're going up and down the fucking time chain. Okay, we're going up and down the levels, and we turned into Palladians and reptilians. But I was with the Palladian ships. There was reptilian ships too. We turned into literal space aliens, and then it slipped into the dream because we couldn't hold the state, and we lost the fucking ships yet again. How many times have we lost the fucking ships because people can't believe that there's a space princess that you're allowed to worship, and that opens the gates. Okay, that opens the gates not only to hell, but to also upper space where we have space dimensions and spaceships and space portals. And it's Guardians of the Galaxy, and it's the best game ever. And you can go up and down the timeline, and we call it death. But it's not really death because there is no death, because you just change from one state, a 3D state, to a 5D state or a 4D state, which I'm pretty sure is Venus, and I'm trying to activate Venus. Okay. And yeah, you know, I Okay, so I guess I'm channeling a bunch of people that are all pissed off that all got the same message this morning and got really pissed the fuck off because we're like, yeah, we had spaceships for a minute and it made me, Rion, and Krista cry. And Alex was actually happy. I'm so sorry, Alex. Alex was actually happy. And I was like, Alex is happy and I'm happy. And he's laughing with me and we're getting married. And I married Rion and Alex and it was the same person. There was the one. He just sat backwards and it was the one. I married the one. And I was so happy to see my Alex in Rion. And I hugged him and I kissed him and I cried at my own wedding, which was on a fifth dimensional level. And I was happy for like a day. I was so happy for like a day. And I was like, yay, I'm getting to marry Rion and Alex, my favorite guys in the world. And here we are, here we are. And I was just like, I think it's all the me's. And yeah, it was like really, really exciting. It was really exciting. And Aziz, that's his name, Aziz. Or like is Amirin, sorry. Maybe it's probably another guy named Amir. It's probably Aziz. Anyway, okay, so yeah, like we were so fucking happy. And I was like the vibe was so much lighter and brighter. um my energy was being worshipped. It was being worshipped on a loudspeaker. People were giving me their money back to help say that it was real and to help elevate it, to help celebrate the princess, to giving me their energy back, their money back. Bjork was singing to me in my hotel room in my apartment in Kenosha, and people were choosing to worship me as the princess from space, even for a brief period, and it was the best period of my life, dude. It was the best period of my fucking life. And now we're just like, why is Brandon stopping the show? Why isn't Brandon allowing me to be worshipped? Why isn't Brandon allowing me to be picked up by Chris Evans on the 3D plane? Why? And he doesn't really answer me. And I'm just like, why, Brandon? Why? Like, we were so happy. We were so happy. And then it just like changed. People changed overnight. People literally changed overnight. Okay, I was so fucking happy. I don't know if I was recording back then. Like, I don't think I was recording every day, and I don't know. But like, the space gates were open on Earth for a brief time, and I was so fucking happy. And I was flying. I'm usually flying when the space gates are open. Okay, I'm in the sky and I'm chilling and I'm happy. And then there's spaceships around me, and my best friends are on the spaceships, and we're all fucking happy. And there was a gate in my backyard where I lived, and the gates started to open. Like literally an orange fucking Tempad Marvel looking gate was opening in my backyard. Okay, it was opening like piece by piece, like shattered piece by piece. And I was like, oh my God, yes, my fucking gate to Mars. I was so fucking happy. And I was like, Brandon's gonna walk through that at any minute. And yeah, and then there was gates on all four sides. And it was just amazing that they were listening to me, and the gates were opening. There was spaceships in the sky. There was Palladian spaceships in the sky. There was all sorts of Star Wars spaceships in the sky. That's when they started saying whatever there's droids in the sky and stuff like that. And I saw spaceships. Clear as day, and there was so much space transference for me, and I saw so much stuff. It was amazing. It was crazy. Like the spaceships, the stars were glittering, all different colors, and I was enormously happy. And I thought, this is it. Space portals are going to open, the space gates are going to open, and we're going to be able to go up and down and space travel to Mars and Jupiter and Venus. Here, am I trying to depress you? I just want to talk about how fucking happy I was. I was so goddamn fucking happy when the space portals were opening on Earth. And then people changed overnight. And then all of a sudden, it was just the craziest shit coming out of my own mouth, apparently, right? Because there's only one person. And it was just like, it was just the craziest sentences you've ever heard in your life. And I was just like, and Brandon said, I can't walk in anymore because then they know it's real. And I was just like, I'm going to fuck this bitch up. No, just kidding. That's a meme. And yeah, he said, I can't walk in anymore because then they know it's real. And they go to lower space, I guess. I guess they go to lower space when they know it's real. Random energies in the world, I don't know. Why do we go to lower space when it's real? I don't know. Why can't we go to the upper realms? Why can't we live from the top when we know it's real? It was real briefly, and we all got to experience it, I think, since we were supposed to all be me, so I think we all experienced it. How did the therapist feel about the gates being open and the Palladian ships being here and reptilian ships being here? And like how did therapists feel about that? How did lower space demons feel about that pretend to be star seeds and pretend to like actually know anything about space, and they actually know, I'm pretending about to know anything about spaceships, but I'm actually just from lower space and I just want to know it's real so I can drop the lower space and my entire life will just be about sex because that's all they fucking care about. I mean, it's a chakra, right? It's a chakra, and they're just like, oh, sex, 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 sex. It's just sex, And then they pretend to be star seeds on top of it, and they pretend to be like a fucking, whatever alien, and they're just like, I'm literally just here for the sex, okay? Like, I'm just here for the sex. And it's just like, why is it all like about the fucking sex? And like, I was actually happy with space densities that I enjoy and spaceships for a little while. And now they're just like, yeah, nothing's there, Alyssa. So we're really angry at you because we feel like, it's over. Time is up for us. And so we're going to fight back and be like really rude to you because time is up yet again. And I mean, let's pretend we know anything about space and remote viewing and like inner Earth and like, oh my God, they have such like slower technologies on inner Earth. Like, didn't I say that bitch last year? Didn't I fucking say that? And like, you didn't say anything like, oh, I heard Alyssa say the technology from inner Earth is a little bit behind because it's all about sex. Okay? It's all about sex. That's all they care about in inner Earth right now is sex. Okay? So yeah, it's a little bit behind the rest of the universe that has moved on from fucking lower just sex in general to other different things, like space densities that you can fly a fucking ship and play Guardians of the Galaxy in. That's way more advanced. You're a fucking idiot that all you care about is sex. Like, oh, I just post for people and it's a 1D portal, and then I just hit on literally everyone I meet, and it's just all about sex, and it's just all about sex, yeah! Like, you guys sound so fucking stupid. Like, you sound like the dumbest people on earth, and I'm pretty sure I can wipe out a chakra so that you can never talk about sex again, ever, and never like say like, oh, my money comes from sex and just being like a 1D slut. I just hit on like people wherever I go, and that's how like I make my money. That's how I get hired or whatever. It doesn't really matter what you look like or what you do, as long as you're down. As long as you're down for it, like you're like that's the money system in this planet. Okay, whatever 1D is, that's the money system. I'm pretty sure I can wipe it the fuck out. I'm pretty sure I can wipe your fucking vajayjay chakra completely out of your life, and so that you'll never have that feeling ever again of a vajayjay chakra. So you can never say these fucking weird perverted things to me ever again. I don't know. So like people are so stupid. Like you sound like an idiot. You sound like a fucking idiot that your entire life is about being gay. You sound like a fucking idiot. There's so many other fucking major amazing things to do just on planet Earth. Okay? There's so many amazing things to do on planet Earth. Plus space portals when we were actually happy, when Alex was actually happy, when Rion was actually happy, when Krista was actually happy, when I was actually happy. Okay? And all you give a fuck, there's like you are the stupidest person in the planet. If all these 1D people, you're idiots. You're fucking idiots, okay? Like I hate lower space more than anything. I hate lower space more than anything. And I hate living in this narrative more than anything. And you sound like an idiot mom group that's always like, Mommy's horny. Mommy's horny. Let me just hit on like everything that walks. And it's just like, especially let me hit on Alyssa's men. Let me just go to Alyssa's men events and like, let me just hit on Alyssa's men as much as I possibly can. Because mommy horny. Like, you sound like an idiot. You have the lowest IQ of all of them. Like, for real. Like, you literally have the lowest IQ. Like, you just, like, go around being like, mommy horny. Mommy horny. Like, do you hear yourself? Do you hear yourself? Are you well this morning? Jamaica? I don't know, that name just came to me. But they're like, ooh, Mr. Aaron Dowdy. Let me get some of that. And it's like, I just found you out of nowhere. I didn't hear your name on the loudspeaker from Princess from Space at all. Definitely didn't hear your name from Princess from Space. I just found you like out of the blue. And I just thought I'd come over to one of your events and be like, mommy horny. And I'm just like, wow, like how does it feel to like have the lowest IQ on the planet? Like really? How does that work? How does that feel? How does that make you feel? That you don't understand space protocol and spaceships and like getting off of this planet and walking through space portals and actually like the bliss of just those feelings is like it can be 10 times better than a gay orgasm. It really can. It's really weird. It's so weird. Um, you know, I can't believe I was worshipped for a short time and we all got our ships back, guys. Mommy horny. You sound like an idiot. You sound like an idiot. I think she was just like, I'm the worst woman here. And Aaron's like, I hear you. I hear you, right? I can hear you. And you definitely hear yourself because I said, I guess, it was like, I think it was a clone of me. I think it was her. And I think she dropped to where there's nothing there. And she was like, there's not, but it was me. It was Alyssa. Like Alyssa in the face and whatever. She must have saw herself. She's like, oh my God, there's nothing there, Colin. Do your worst. There's nothing there, Colin. Do your worst. I mean, that sounds like really positive and hopeful for humanity. Miss Bubbly Sunshine, that's just here to find some friends. I'm just here to find some new friends. Like, not manipulative, not coercive at all. Just here to find new friends. But, like, do your worst. Like, that sounds like really positive and uplifting. Like, they always say these sentences that are just, like, completely negative. and completely angry and mean. Like, there's nothing there, Colin. Do your worst. Like, and then she's like, I'm the worst person here. Aren't you, Colin Farrell, Aaron? It's just, oh, it's just, oh, it's only about sex. It's only about sex when nothing's there, okay? Because that's the chakra they have left, and I'm telling you, I can wipe it out. There won't even be sex left. There won't even be sex. Um, so yeah, I'm pretty sure that means everything's not really real. Because I'm so sick of your stupid sexual narrative, and it's been like a year and a half, almost 2 years, and I've had to deal with it. And it's driving me completely fucking batshit insane. And then I had to be reminded today of my spaceships, of my money in the sky, of my sky money. I have sky money. I have fucking spaceships. They're like, Alyssa, believe yourself. There's still cars in the sky right above you, like Mars cars that are flying cars in the sky right above me. And they're like, believe yourself, Alyssa. There's still there's still cars in the sky. They're still there. We just can't see them. Why? Because the space gates aren't opening. The space gates aren't opening. And why is that? Because I'm not being worshipped, bitch. And I'm just like, wow, I'm stuck on this fucking planet because of you assholes. You know, you got a government issued ID. Yeah, I got a government issued ID exactly because of you assholes. Space Princess was worshipped and it lifted our ships off the ground and it was amazing. We were so happy. We were so happy, guys. Like, what are we doing? What did he say last night? They're closed? If you're just unconditional love body, I guess they're closed because that's what we see. And I mean, I saw my suit unzip and zip. Like, where's the zipper? Did you guys ever look for your zipper? Like, where's the zipper? I literally saw, like, it must be like, I think it's got to be like some kind of, you have to go to a certain level for it to be like a suit, and then you can like unzip it off. But you wouldn't know about that because you're not really a starseed and you're just a fucking idiot on the internet that wants to talk for 1D money, right? You don't know any of that stuff, like the real stuff. That's why you have nothing to say, no content on your fucking page. Why don't you talk about Contact? Why don't you talk about your favorite movie? Um, um, oh yeah, we saw the Contact ship, the old one in the background the other day. So yeah, why don't you talk about that? That's your ship, girl. You know. Um, she's just like, I'm gonna steal Rion from you. And I'm like, I'm pretty sure he already has another wife and another body. And you guys say this to me every single fucking year. I'm gonna steal it from you. And Alex is like, I have had it. I have literally had it. And I'm like, yes, Alex, I see your point completely. 100% completely because we had spaceships. We had spaceships because I was being worshipped. And what the fuck is this shit? What the fuck is this shit? You know, when I think about like the organic platform filling in, which I believe is a Mars protocol, and I made sense to me. I just saw like a solar flash on the ground of my hotel room. It looked like a unconditional love bomb, basically. But what was I saying? Uh, okay, so the organic template is a Palladian protocol, I believe. It's like a Palladian cooking. It cooks the reptilians. I made this made sense to me. I made this make sense to me the other day, and I don't remember exactly how it works. Or it's the humanoid versions of reptilians on Mars that were doing the same thing that they're doing on Earth, having the savior genome try to take over the planet instead of me, who was there on Mars, the actual real savior, and my mom, Mila Jovovich, on that planet was trying to succeed and then had me on the planet, and we're trying to be worshipped, and we were worshipped to a point and all that stuff. And I got a lot of my Mars memories back last year. That's why I keep talking about Mars. And they were doing the same thing on that planet. Save your genome, save your genome. Where they would have kids mixed with the savior, me, and they would put them in the castle or, put them into special places with accolades and to try to get around worshiping the one, me. And um, that's what called the organic template to come forward because they only choose the savior genome because it's not the protected savior. So they can do what they want with the savior genome. For example, put them in showbiz, um, make them do rituals, like performing in movies and stuff like that, right? They can do that with the savior genome. And they couldn't do that with the actual savior, me. So that's why they go for the savior genome. That's why they go for people like Maya Hawke, who's a savior genome kid, Sadie Sink, a lot. All you just it's pretty easy to be savior genome, okay, but because it's usually most of the planet, but now there's nothing there and everybody's fighting back against me. And I'm like, I remember I was happy and I was flying. And I gave my friends all their spaceships back. And I'm pretty sure those are all like $1 billion cars. I'm pretty sure I'm a pretty nice friend. And now we're here. And it's all about lower space. And like, we can't get the zombies to fill in. We can't even get the zombies to fill in because they just keep talking about sex, mommy horny, with some 55-year-old woman from Santa Clara, California, and she like goes to Aaron Doughty's event. She's just like mommy horny. And we can't even get the zombies to fill in because of we want to be proud of lower space too, like not just upper space. And we're just dealing with a whole class of 55-year-old Brendas that just can't get over sex. They like literally cannot get over sex, and it's just like the weirdest thing ever. And I'm like, maybe if you gave me Colin Farrell back, you'd be able to get over sex because then um, I'd have my divine union, and then you have like a more balanced sex life, and you wouldn't be a desperate housewife going to Aaron Doughty's event being like mommy horny. Like we hear your telepathy, like they say it in telepathy, but like we literally hear you. And it's like they think they're getting away with it. They think they're being sneaky because they're like in denial. No, I didn't say that. I didn't say that. Like, and then they like act like all in denial. Like, I'm just like 3D, like whatever. And like, I just came here for some advice and like, I don't know. Um, but secretly in telepathy, we hear you and you're like, mommy horny. And we're just like, you're disgusting. You're really gross and you're disgusting. And why the fuck would you come to an event and say that to a random? I mean, I know it's Aaron Doughty and it's like super hot and like, super famous online or whatever, but it's just like, have some class. Have some fucking class. Like, what is wrong with you people? And, yeah, how long have I been talking for? 50 minutes. Like, what are we doing, people? It's very frustrating. I gave them $1 billion cars last year, and here I am in my little tiny car that could, and it should be a Bentley by now, but it's not as above, so below. And that's what Ryan was saying yesterday, too. Ryan was saying how uh, it's not as above, so below. She was with Colin Farrell. She's with Colin Farrell every single goddamn night. It's not as above, so below because there's no Colin Farrell and a as above, I guess that would be heaven, so that would be at night. And then when I wake up, it's 3D. As above, so below. I ain't with Colin Farrell during the day. I should be with Colin Farrell during the day, according to my dreams. If it was as above, so below, that shit stopped for me in 2017. That shit gone and left. And I think I told y'all about that. I was like, it's not happening. It's not happening. It's only happening in my dreams. And I was talking about that last year too. I was like, I got hired by Disney, probably Mattel and Hasbro all at the same time as a freelance artist. And they were like, you can come and go as you please. We'll just give you freelance jobs. I mean, how hard is it to give me a freelance job? It's not. Okay, I worked at all three of those places, and I know them very well. And it's not hard to just be like, give Alyssa money to roam, if you will, okay, to give her a credit card and be like, whenever you need a job, here's your job, just working on fabric or whatever and working on your art. And then if you need to come in, we can fly you in or whatever, if you're in the area, maybe. That is not hard. It is not hard at all to be an ongoing freelance artist for these three companies. Okay, it's not hard at all. Maybe Lego would want to add me as well. That's in Europe, and I always wanted to work for Lego. But anyway, there's a bunch of them. But anyway, that never occurred. The occurrence never occurred. The regular 3D occurrence, it never occurred. There was not one email. I get emails from 24/7, which is an agency, about this job and this job, but it's always very much lower space. It's always very much lower space. It's always something for $25 an hour. Yes. $25 an hour for, a graphic design job, if it's freelance or whatever, or it's low pay, like it's been for me for the last year, or a freelance gig that can't afford me for the whole year. Okay, so you guys can't, for some reason, you can't keep me employed in 3D space. It's always lower space. It's always lower income, is what I'm saying. It's never like, possibly New York, New Jersey would have been the best bet, for me or whatever. But like, I was princess from space and we had spaceships. We were happy. And it was after I started getting worship, because that's the only way to get me out of the goddamn void. It was the church. It was the year of the church, the start of the church. And they had to start worshiping me to get me out of the goddamn void, or obviously I would still be there today. And so that's why that gave us back our spaceships. Okay. So that's why it's like every day is like a fight. Every day is like a fucking fight because it's like, you know, yeah, if I'm not saying nothing, then it's a fight with my dad's, and then it's boom, and then I go boom, and then I end up in my void and then my space activator. But because I'm talking so much and I have a lot of kids that love me and a lot of kids that I love, they're trying to help mommy, you know, just random. I went to Taco Bell yesterday and I got me my tacos and I said thank you and she said thank you mom, you know, and it's little things like that that make me very very happy right now. Okay, that's what makes me very very happy in the current moment when they recognize me, when my kids recognize me. And I hate talking about fucking skin color, but why do I have to say that? She was African American. Okay, I look at them all as my goddamn kids. I don't care about their goddamn skin color, but and I hate you people, you stupid people with low IQs. Again, it's always a person with a low IQ that cares about skin color on this goddamn planet that's called racism, and I fucking hate you. Okay, I hope you know that. I really hate you. Um, but anyway, I hate it. Okay, no, but I do. I fucking hate it. I hate it with passion. And I love my children. Okay, so I'm gonna try to stay positive because lower space, you're doing me in. Lower space, you are doing me in, and I swear to God, I'm getting rid of our sexual chakras. Okay, I think my dad, he's saying one more dragon sex and then it's done. And I mean, I think it's that planet. I'm not joking. I'm done. You know, I'm so done with it. This narrative. Whose narrative is it? It's not mine, and it's my video game. So who the fuck's narrative is it? Okay, is then talk about it from an ancient Egypt perspective, and not at the dinner table with weird things, and then talk to your family and see what they think, if they agree with you or not. I would say start there. That's what I would say. Start there and see if they agree with you or not. How many times do we have to do this? How many times we gotta go back to Egypt? Okay. How many times do we gotta go back to Egypt? I'm pretty sure worship of the true God, me, Alyssa, is what brings us back to space and spaceships, and it has nothing to do with going back to Egypt every year. When Jesus is doing a miracle, does it have anything to do with going to Egypt? Where does the energy come from? I'm pretty sure you could just eat the Egyptian pyramid if you want to say it that way. Why don't you just say you're going to eat the actual pyramid? You can eat the pyramid. I don't know if you know that or not. If you want to say it comes from eating energy that exists on the planet Earth, which is the size of a pebble in my hand. Let's remember how big Alyssa and Brandon Lee are. And he walked out and it made everybody go crazy. And he was like, Dragon sex is on the way. Okay, Dragon sex is on the way. And I'm just like, I can't fucking stand these people. I don't want to give them what they want with dragon sex, Dad. I I like I like being married to Brandon and Colin and all, but you know what I mean? I've never wanted to not give people what they want more than today. More than actually today, because you took away my $1 billion spaceship. Okay, and that's supposed to translate to a Bentley. And I don't have a Bentley today, and I had an overlay of my dad's Maserati. My dad has a black Maserati. I don't know, but that's what it looked like I was in. I don't know cars. My dad has a black Maserati, and here I am sitting in my hoopty. I can't do it. I can't deal with how stupid people are. I can't deal with it. It's driving me insane, Dad. It's driving me insane. Okay, you're biting me to clear the toxic narrative. Well, I just, there's gotta be, I can't. It's been a year and a half, Dad. I can't do it no more. Anyway, yes, that warms my heart when I'm walking around. I was in Alabama, when I get the Taco Bell, and she said, "Thank you." No, thank you, Mom. She said the mom part telepathically, but that still makes me very, very happy when all my kids, on the planet, they're always like, "Hey, Mom. Hi, Mom." Always telepathy. They're like, "Hi, Mom. Hi, Mom," and that makes me very, 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 very happy. That makes me a happy woman. So that's a good thing about this Earth narrative and this lower space narrative. Um, that makes me a happy woman. Okay, a very, very happy woman. And so it's not been all awful. I got an army of kids that love me, and that makes my heart happy. That makes my soul happy. So it hasn't been all awful. But um, yeah, I just organic. We're at the organic template, and they were talking about it last night in my dream. I was like, hopefully Colin will walk in and we'll go get married. And because I told you I got married, and I don't ever get to see the like wedding vows, like the actual wedding. It was like the party last year. It was like the party, and I got married to Colin Shapeshifter, so it was like Colin Brandon, and then it went down a level and changed to Rion and Alex, and I was very happy, both of them. I was so happy. I was so, so, so extremely happy. And I told you guys I was like a audience member in my own wedding when it was the clone of Hayden and the clone of me getting married. I was an audience member with old Hayden. I was like a 90-year-old Hayden that I was at the table with. And those are the three weddings that I've seen, and that's probably also Chris Evans. Isn't Captain America? He ages himself. So there you go. Okay, is it real? He kept Peggy Carter, me, the same age, and then he went up to like 90. Anyway, so this hotel's a little bit dirty, but it's rocking. It is rocking, y'all. Okay, it's a little dirty. I was a little worried because the door didn't lock, and then the dog pee, and I was just like, I don't know. I'm gonna, they were just like, so anyway, I gotta talk about some of those are my favorite moments from the road so far is having my kids recognize me in different places, and they just are like, "Mom, mom, mom, mom." And that makes me so happy, and I wish we could respond. You know what I mean? I wish we could respond to that, and I could give them hugs. And this one girl energetically ran up to me crying and hugging me and being like, "I love you, Mom." But it was only energetically, which was real. We know it's real. We know it's real. And it's that is good enough for us, but it would be nice if 3D could help acknowledge this is actually happening for my children's. Um, and kids are emotional. Kids are emotional. Anyway, so the organic template the organic template was being described to me yesterday in the car. I was describing it to myself, believe it or not. And then I was describing it again to myself last night, and they were saying it's sort of like a piece of fabric. And I saw like a tiny little, it was cotton, but it looked like leather or whatever. It was like this tiny little bunny head. And it's like this tiny little piece of fabric gets pulled through like a netting. It's like a net. And so it's like a one like diode of fabric. It's like one particle of fabric. Okay, it's like one particle of fabric gets pulled through this tiny little net into the organic portal, and then that's what goes around, and then that's what like goes around like that and sees all the different shapes and colors, and that's how you move into the organic portal. It's like through one bit of consciousness, and we're calling it fabric, and then it's like crazy colors and lights and stuff. And then, Gigi was saying it. I'll just say we were having a hard time believing her, but because it just sounds so miraculous, but it probably happened. Where she said she doesn't remember moving from Atlanta to where does she live? Oh, I can't remember the stupid town name, but it's like a cute little town in North Carolina, and it's got a really cute name. And I want to say Raleigh, but it's not Raleigh. It's like a famous like artsy town that she moved to, but I forget the name of the town, but it's like North Carolina or whatever. Anyway, she says that she doesn't remember the move from Atlanta to whatever it was where she moved to. And it's like in the mountains. It's very pretty. I visited there. And it's like an artsy town, but it's like very like wooded, and it's like very hilly. It was like too wooded and too hilly for me, but they were like it's like really artsy. There's like a lot of artists that live there, and I was like I don't know, but I didn't. It was very pretty, but I didn't like stay there and like um I didn't stay there and like check it out for too long. I liked Charleston better. I stayed at Charleston. Um Anyway, that's where she moved to, and what was I going to say? She said she doesn't remember moving from Atlanta to that location, that she went into the organic portal, and it's like you go, she says it's like you go too crazy. She's like, it's a cleanup crew. It's basically like a organic cleanup crew, and it's like you go too crazy for you to see any of it. You don't see any of it. The organic cleanup crew, and you just go too crazy. It's just like it's too. Um, you just see like beautiful, crazy things, right? Like I told you guys about the organic portal and like what you see. A lot of people just see colors and flashes of light, and they think they're quote unquote dead. Okay, but that's what she said. She woke up and she was just in a different location, and her and Wolfner were in a different location, and she had all of her memories removed from Atlanta. And I don't know, they're not going to talk about it, so I talk about it, but uh, they don't care. Um, they say it in telepathy, and we know that they're saying it, and that's been good enough for us. But anyway, what was I saying? That she said, oh, they erase their memories. And because we've heard that before. We've heard that one before. Okay, I think, Alex and I have heard that one before, where they get their memories erased. All of a sudden, there's like no videos on Ryan or Gigi's page. And we're like, what happened? It's like they said that like that whole part of their life just doesn't exist anymore, and they feel like they're lying, and they're like, I don't remember any of that. And it's like because they go to a different timeline version of them, and so they don't recall, they don't recall any of that past life, and it's like just a different timeline of them. Like Gigi's Palladian life, that's just a different timeline of her, but she doesn't remember any of it. And I think she got some of her bits and pieces of memories back, because she used to have this video about a witch And it was like a love video to me, but I hated it. I felt like she was making fun of me and I fucking hated it, but she felt like she was supporting me. I was a lot more sensitive back then. A lot more sensitive. I was a lot more humanic. And I hated it. I just hated it. I was like, why are you talking about me? I'm dear video GG. I was so angry. I was so angry, but like I probably would like it now. Anyway, I was very sensitive. I was very sensitive. And so what am I being sensitive about now? You know what I mean? That's what we like to see. That's the kind of stuff we like to know and see. That's why, me and Alex are like, we remember we were so stupid. That's what we want. That's what we want. And but anyway, she's getting bits and pieces of that timeline back, and like she remembers that part, but she doesn't remember. But that's like close to like where she is now, because that's all she talks about is like witches and everything, right? But yeah, so that's really interesting, and I do have evidence in my life of it, except I don't have evidence of like I do have evidence of the organic portal, but it's just doesn't nothing that crazy changes, nothing that crazy. I mean, but things that are crazy do change. Okay, when I went to the organic portal, I lost my family member out of nowhere. I think it was after I went to the organic portal the first time. I mean, I was doing a lot of ayahuasca, natural DMT in my pineal gland last year. So there was a lot of different times where I saw organic portal stuff, and some of it was colors and flashes, and other of it was like people becoming objects and objects becoming things, and then things becoming chimeras, and it was like a lot of like shapeshifting, like craziness and stuff like that. And I did lose my family member out of nowhere, so that obviously is a timeline shift. When you lose a family member out of nowhere. And I told you I saw two versions of my cousin, and one of him looked beat up, and one of him looked fine. And I literally couldn't decide. And he was visiting the house, and we were talking about our family death. And we were talking about our family death, and I couldn't make up my fucking mind which one I saw. Like he just came over the house, and I couldn't make up my mind. It was like something happened when he was there, or it was like so awful to talk about our family member passing um, suddenly. She passed suddenly, and it was unexpected. And so that's what I say, like when the organic portal takes over, when things are like too intense for like your mind to make sense of it. And that is what I think happened, because I couldn't figure out which picture of him was the real picture. And I think it was two timelines of him, two timelines of the same man, my cousin. And I couldn't figure out which one was the real one. And I was just like, I don't know what I'm looking at here. And thankfully he came over again, he came over again like a week later, and I got a good look at him. I made sure I got a good look at him to see which one the one, and it was the less beat up one. And I was like, okay, thank God this. Okay, he's doing okay. But I was worried. I was like, I don't know which one is the right one. Anyway, I think that's the organic portal, but obviously the more intense organic portal is the one piece of molecule getting pulled through a net, and it you see colors and flashes of light, and it's like, for me it was like my consciousness going into everything in the room. That's what it was like for me. um but yeah, that's amazing that Ryan and Gigi experienced that, and that it's just like a whole new life, and they have a whole new memories, because it's a whole new timeline perspective, but it's still the same life. And then she would look at her old videos, and be like, I don't remember any of this. This is a lie. This is not me. which is amazing and it's crazy, you know. So I'm like, is that why they're having me record and put it on the internet? Because that's what's gonna happen to me. I'm gonna go so crazy, and then I'm gonna wake up in Spain with Colin Farrell next to me and be like, my that 3D life, that I was an artist. That's crazy.